It's mail time.
Welcome to another edition of Mailbox Monday, your place to get all your career questions answered. I'm your co-host Duncan Harrison here with my main man. Tell him who you are, brother.
Jay Tyler, aka the resume revolutionary. That's a tongue twister, but we are in the building today. Mailbox Monday. Glad to be here, Dunk.
Yes, definitely in the building with the resume revolutionary. We're going to answer all your career questions today. If you have questions for us in the future, just hit us right. I can't. There we go at mailbox today at mercercountyworks.com. And so, do we have any questions for us today, Jay Tyler?
But of course we do, Duncan. Of course we do. Before I begin, though, I'm wearing pink today for the happy belated Mother's Day for all the mothers out there putting in work every single day. Shout out to my mother. Shout out to Duncan's mother. Shout out to Duncan's wife.
Thank you.
Everybody. Shout out to my brother's wife. Everybody. Shout them out.
Let me shout out my mom.
Okay. No disrespect.
Okay. All right. Shout out, happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to my wife as well.
Right, definitely. It's funny. He's a funny guy. But listen, we are here today. We do have a great question, and this is a interesting question, Duncan, because this is all about a brother who's gone viral. I've seen him before. He's been viral 4 years ago, and now this man was in the manosphere. Now he's in the mainstream sphere. Talking to men and women about how to be high value. Okay. I think you know who I'm talking about, Mr. Kevin Samuels, right? So this question was actually inspired by him. And so I'm going to read the question that was presented to me and to you, and let's see how we can answer it, all right? Gotcha. And so it says, Dear Duncan and Justin, hope you brothers are doing well. As I'm sure you know, there are a lot of people talking about what it is to be a high value man. Kevin Samuels has generated much needed discussion and accountability for both men and women. I just graduated from university, but college was an important time because I was able to understand and identify who I wanted to be and how to set up my own life. So I'm curious about your opinion on this subject, especially since both of you specialize in HR and are constantly evaluating the happenings of the workplace. Keep up the good work with the show, by the way. Much appreciated, brother. Let me know what you think, Amari V.
Well, I think that's an excellent question, right? And if I could jump right in, Jay Teller, because I think everybody wants to be a high value employee, right? And I can tell you that a high value employee is definitely not easy to come by, right? So I mean, sure, you might be a great worker at your company, but if your company can find someone else who's just as qualified for the same job and willing to work less hours with an easier workload, then they're likely going to end up hiring that person instead of taking on the responsibility and making your life better, even though it required them doing much more than their own share of the pie, right? So I guess you're asking yourself, so how do you become this valuable asset, right? So first off, you have to make sure that there are no other people out there that are vying for the position at any given time, right? So I think that's very important. Like, you need to know the lay of the land, like who's on the field, right? Who are you playing against? What type of offensive defensive strategy are you going to put in place to become a high value employee? Second, right? Keep yourself up to date about what new technologies or programs have been released. Just being aware of what's out there will help you tenfold. The third thing you can do is focus on your strengths and weaknesses, right? I think that it's best when people can take care of themselves so they don't drain others' energy, right? And I think that's very important, right? So if you want to be a high value employee at the workplace, you don't want to drain others' energy or resources. You want to bring that stuff to the table, and and I think when doing that, self-awareness is very important too, right? So you want to be aware about how often you're asking for help from your coworkers, right?
Yes.
that is very important. If it's more than what other employees are doing, then this may be an indication that there might not be any specific skill gaps, but rather
Right.
a culture issue in the company where I guess undervaluing employees encourage dependency upon those around them. I guess them as opposed to developing skills in order to learn new things independently, right?
Right.
So I think that's very important. I'll leave you these last three things to really to be a high value employee. It's something that has especially gotten me along in my career as well.
Mhm.
The third thing is how you dress, right? So you definitely want to dress, like you're going on, 50 first dates, right? So I always
Great
said
point.
I want to dress like my boss's boss.
Mhm.
Anytime that I enter a room, I want to be, that head turn, like, well, who is that? Wow, this guy, he looks amazing, smells great, right? He has to be someone of importance. So I can tell you that, when you put a suit on, people talk to you differently,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think I can share a story about one time I had to go to court to support somebody else, and the judge actually called me up to the bench and said, "Well, who are you here to represent?" And I
Hmm.
believe that they thought I was the actual lawyer when I was just actually there just to support a friend of mine who actually had got a ticket. So I think dress is very important.
Wow.
Secondly, right? Well, I'm sorry. Fourthly, be aware of what's going on around you, right? I think this means be careful about what you're posting on social media. Jay Tyler can tell you that, being in the talent acquisition world, the recruitment world, owning a job board, that, a lot of the things we look at when we look at matching candidates to employers, we look at your social media, right?
Oh
What are you
yeah.
posting? Are you going to be a good cultural fit, or are you going to be a headache? So that's very important. And
Right.
I lastly, probably the most important thing is keep in mind what your company needs. If you want to be a high value employee, you need to be able to make critical decisions and answer your company's problems at the drop of a dime. That's how
Mhm.
you become high value. If you can
Mm.
do these essential things, then I think
Mm.
you just might as well stay as a regular employee.
Hey, listen, man, I got this water right here. You spitting that holy water, that pulpit talk today. You know what I mean? So, I wish I could
Right.
throw it to you from guitar. Definitely
Right.
spitting it to me, brother. I love it. I love it. Um, I like the fact that you said like not being a nuisance to employees because when we hire someone, right? If we're both hiring managers before we've been in talent act with HR, you want to hire someone that can fully and faithfully do the job. Now,
Right.
when you first get on the job, you're going to ask a lot of questions about the culture fit, where to go to the snack room, when to take lunch, how do I integrate with this, department. But after a while, after 90 days, they really expect you to be on your own 2 feet and to minimally ask for that additional help. So that's a really good point there instead of being a nuisance to someone, right? Or
Mhm.
to a whole department. Let me take a stab at this, Dunk, if you don't mind. I think the first thing, for me, I'm just going to give you, Amari, I'm going to give you things that work for me.
Mhm.
Develop a routine to dominate your day. So what do
Mm.
you do during the day that sets you up for success?
Right.
And so, are you reading in the morning or reading at night? Are you praying? Are you meditating? Right? Are you focusing on goals that are going to get you to your to your final destination in terms of what you want out of your career? And
Mhm.
when I say final destination, that's probably the wrong term because we're always on a journey, lifelong.
That's right.
But different milestones that you're reaching are your inputs. You looking like there could be good outputs, right? So that's the thing I would think about. And also, too, are you getting your proper fitness in? Are you eating right? Do you have a
Mm.
healthy relationship with your family?
Mm.
You can't just be inside the house all day and live a life of abundance inside a home.
Right.
You got to get out and talk to people. You got to move and shake things around. You got to put yourself out there and be not afraid to fail forward. That's something something you should think about, that routine to
Yeah.
dominate your day.
Powerful. Powerful.
Thank you. Second thing is just invest in personal growth and education.
Mhm.
So the best investment is yourself. I know people going crazy over crypto, they're going crazy over the stock market and all that. But the
Right.
best investment is yourself, so you can grow and continue to make more money and to continue to be someone that needs to be employed, right? That people are going to you as a go-to person
Yeah.
for now and also the future. And so education is important, but also your personal growth. What are you going through? Are you becoming evolutionary? Because you shouldn't be the same person 5 years ago that you are now. You
Mhm.
should be growing, you should be moving forward, right? And so you got to become evolutionary. So what are you doing in your day to invest in your personal growth? And not everything, when I say invest, costs money as well. Number 3, are you working 50 to 60 hours per week? And this is something that I actually agree with Kevin Samuels, that I think any high value person should be working 50 to 60 hours per week. If you truly want to get where you want to go, maybe it's 40 hours at your job and 20 hours on your part-time or your side hustle or your business. Okay. Maybe you're working part-time and then you also have your business as well, where you're doing 20 part-time, but 40 on your business. Maybe you're doing 60 hours in your business solely, right? So whatever that 50, 60 hours is per week, you should be putting that time in to become a master. So Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hours. Maybe it doesn't take 10,000 hours, but hey, if you do 10,000 hours or something, you're going to be pretty good at it, I think. So something to think about. Number 4, I'm almost done. Number 4, keep your distractions and vices to a minimum. And so that's something for me that, we all have our vices, so I know my vice and I got to make sure that I can control and master that vice. Because if you don't master self, you can't master anything else in the universe. You have to master self first. And so all those devices and things like that, all those distractions, keep them to a minimum. So just be like a horse in a horse race where the blinders are there and you're going straight ahead, right? Just boom, straight ahead. That's all you want to do for a certain period of your life, right? Because you got to establish yourself and make sure that you are mastering, everything in the universe. Last thing is identify a mentor who's already where you want to be. So don't talk to, mom and, dad. Sometimes mom and dad may be great parents, but they may not be where you want to be professionally. Also granddad and grandma, they may not be where you want to be. They may have good life goals, but professionally, you may need to go to somewhere else. All right. So professionally, find that mentor that's where you want to be and add value to them. Just don't take off of them. You add value to them. Help them with a project. Be able to do some research for them, freelance work, whatever you can provide value, because it might make it easier for them to bring you on as a mentee. So I think those are the 5 things that I would think about in terms of what can make you a high value employee. What do you think about that, Dunk?
But I think those are excellent, and you definitely dropped some nuggets today, some very powerful tools. So I think Amari, we just gave you 10 things that you need to do to become a high value employee, and I don't think there's no certain order that they have to be done in, but definitely are they're very important that you do those things. And
it's not in any order. You're right, Dunk. It's not in any order.
Right, definitely not in any order. And one thing I always say, when thinking about these things, especially because we become wrapped up in our work, right? That yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. So definitely remember that, Omar.
All right, I think we out, Dunk. Signing off.
Peace.